21. Who should go number one? Because it feels like it should be a Skeens world, and yet there's all this push away from it.
All three of them are completely justifiable. I lean Langford. If you told me the price was $500,000 different, all of a sudden I might have a slightly different answer. That's the world that Pittsburgh is in right now, but I would go Langford.
I listened to this guy right here, right? And you've seen, you believe it. That's why you're sitting next to me, buddy.
Thank you.
And we see, and I witnessed it as well in Omaha, the dominance that Paul Skeens has, and it's the best pitcher I've seen as well, so I agree with you 100%. He's a game changer. They've got $16.185 million to play with. Do what you can to get this guy because he can make that franchise different.
It's generational, man. It's just different. You don't see guys like this. I haven't seen one at the collegiate level. And I mean, if you want to, you can get him there now. Like there's no reason to wait if you don't want to. Berkey, I don't know how you pass on him. I really don't.
We made our thoughts pretty clear in Omaha. I think the outfielders could be all-stars. Yeah. I think Paul Skeens you could build a statue for. Now, I know that's hyperbolic at this point, but, like, he is different. We'll get into it once he gets picked. But I think it's more than just the stuff with Paul Skeens. He's a different kind of dude.
Is there some – you got to know when is when, meaning from a Pirate organizational standpoint, with Ben running the show? Like, you know what? We got to switch gears. It's now time to become competitive. Let's not save. Let's go here.
He could go in the big leagues right now, 1 or 2 innings at a time, and be one of their best relievers. He is that talented, and next year be a Rookie of the Year favorite. Get him another first-round pick for being Rookie of the Year.
Mitch Keller, of course, has been outstanding. The Pirates have shown the ability to play and win. And here is Rob Manfred, the commissioner, with the first pick in this draft.
36 years ago, the Seattle Mariners opened the 1987 MLB draft with the selection of Ken Griffey Jr. That pick would forever change the Mariners franchise and the sport as a whole. For 22 seasons, baseball fans had the opportunity to watch one of the game's very best and talented players as his Hall of Fame career took place. No stranger to All-Star festivities, Ken made 13 All-Star teams and was a fan-selected starter in all of them. Tonight, we welcome Ken to the stage here in Seattle, where it all started, and invite the former #1 overall draft pick to officially announce tonight's #1 pick.
With the first pick of the 2023 MLB Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates pick Paul Skeens, right-handed pitcher from LSU. Washington, you have the next pick.
What a moment for the Skeens family. You can see them there. He is at home. He told us in Omaha his plan was to be at home and be able to celebrate with those that helped get him here. The Pittsburgh Pirates have now added arguably a generational pitcher to their organization.
I mean, start with a fastball, okay? He threw 1,280 fastballs this year. The average velocity was 98.5. In Omaha, in his first start, he threw 46 fastballs, 100 or greater. This was a big difference this year. The slider was different. Now, he can add depth, and he does right there, but added a bunch of horizontal this year. It made the slider one of the best swing and miss pitches in the country. The changeup gets way overlooked. Guys, we saw it really good in Omaha's first start.
Yeah.
And I think when he gets into pro ball, especially against lefties, but he threw it against righties against Wake, we're going to see it plenty. I mean, poke a hole in it because I don't know where it is. Over the course of the season, 20 walks, 209 strikeouts. So it's control, it's absolute elite stuff, and it's makeup through the roof.
This is a wildly popular pick in Pittsburgh. It has to be a wildly popular pick. This is a very short list. You're the outstanding player in the World Series, which he was, and we were all sitting there hoping that we'd get to see him in a Game 3. We never did, and then become the #1 overall pick. But what an absolutely scary year when you think, Eduardo and Berkey, 3 years ago, he was kind of a pitcher-catcher, power hitter, and he becomes a pitcher, and now the #1 pick in the draft.
And it goes beyond baseball. It goes with character as well. This is a player that went to Air Force his first 2 years, dominated on both ends of the baseball after having had to do all the work that he had in the classroom, on the field, and then he was able to go out there and just dominate on the field. And we saw a true baseball player at LSU. Character plays, and in Pittsburgh, they're getting themselves a number one.
Yeah, I think the fans are going to be pumped. Right? This tells us we're trying to win today. We just took the best guy. We're not worried about slot. And you're taking a guy that Eddie talked about it. It's more than the stuff. There's a character piece there. There's a presence. I was fortunate to play with Roger Clemens. There's a presence that reminds me of Roger Clemens when you get with Paul Skeens. And it's a guy that I feel like is going to figure it out. Whatever challenge is ahead of him, and we know there will be some, he's going to figure them out. There's
a cautionary tale anytime you take a pitcher. I mean, we saw it with Barrera and Jerpy. Like, they're both banged up. They were number one. They were first-round picks last year. We talked to him in Omaha. Are you concerned about your arm? He said, I haven't had any problems yet.
There's no reason other than the position he plays to worry about that. When you go to who Paul Skeens is the best pitching prospect in the draft since blank, it's either Garrett Cole or Steven Strasburg. The other guy on that tier is David Price. Those three guys, 3 for 3. There's an argument that when you get in this rarefied air,
yes,
you don't miss because they haven't missed. I don't know if he's there yet. I have him like just a hair below those guys because they did it for multiple years. He did it for 1 year. But you could argue the focus on just pitching, getting into the big SEC, doing all these things. He also could be a third rounder as a catcher in DH.
Right.
You could argue he's just such an outlier. I got to throw him up there, and he is a slam dunk, stick him in the big leagues. I would also say, from the relatability of this broadcast of baseball in general, the idea of taking the best player and him being in the big leagues next year and then being rookie of the year like you do in every other sport, I said this year could be special because it's Omaha, it's 1-1 caliber high school guys, and it's a guy that might go straight to the big leagues. I don't know if they will, but they could do that.
And depending on how they play. I mean, Brandon Finnegan a few years ago from TCU to the big leagues in the fall could happen. The other part about the character, I mean, remember, his teammate broke his ankle as he stepped on home. Skeens said, get on my back, and I'll piggyback you out for the celebration.
Yeah, Alex Milazzo.
Yeah.
After that, when he threw him on his back and took him out to make sure that Milazzo could be a part of it. I think, I mean, with Skeens, we talk about so many different things, but the swing and miss is next level. I mean, over the course of the season, he had a 45% strikeout rate. 45% of the guys that he faced, he struck out.
Yeah.
And it's so important at the major league level. You see the swing and miss by pitch, and the changeup's the third one that we talk about. But yet the changeup is a swing and miss rate that's above 50%. I mean, I don't know where the superlatives start, but ultimately there's so many of them.
And I think the context is it was the greatest year for home runs in the history of college baseball. The ball was flying out of the ballpark, and this dude dominated a league that even though his stuff was the best, there's other guys that throw 100 in that league. Yet when he was on the mound, it looked totally different from everybody else.
All right. The Nats go next. It's Cruz or Langford. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, the conversation for the month leading up to this is that the Nationals board had 2 guys, and they both play for LSU. And so if Skeens is gone, they would take Cruz. There was some posturing at the end that other guys are being included. I don't think they are.
Well, what an ovation Ken Griffey Jr. just got here. I mean, this place went on its head. The stands behind us here at Lumen are standing ovation for Griffey. It's a little different story when the commissioner comes out, but he's ready to announce the Nats pick.
Park, where today it's the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres in Game 3 of the series. He's in center field with Tommy Pham in left. Francisco Lindor at shortstop with Pete Alonso. This one. And it is in there for strike one, and we're underway. Brandon Nimmo, 7 games of the year. And he offers for strike 2. The curveball kind of folks have been very impressive. 47 Ks make it 48 Ks. Swing and a miss. Way for Tommy Pham. And Pham will take a strike. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Chase to Cutter. Line to right center. Grisham moving over to make the catch on the.
He was involved defensively. It's surprising because his.
You know, there are no fish treats. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Lindor. It's at short. Cronenworth at first. Sanchez does the catching. Odor's the DH, and Grisham. Song Kim. There's a pop and makes the catch. To Ha-Sung Kim. Scherzer was given the opportunity to throw 1-1. Grabs the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah.
For a base hit. Grover is fan on the backhand. Breaks on and gets back to the bench. Washington. This one is popped up foul off to the left out of play.
We saw some early.
Well, one pitch is in, but now comes in and makes the catch. He was going back, very shallow left center. Does not this time, and takes ball one.
Usually Max Scherzer's
and a pretty good lead as Fernando cranks it foul, although that was before he had the fight with the water. Swings at the 1-1 and a swing and a miss. Curveball that time from driven ball off the wall. It's with a wall ball double. Here's Manny, and he will take a look at ball one. Third spot, a little bit of a shuffle up front as a swing and a miss here. The curveball against San Diego.
Oh man, he's sitting on break.
2-2. There's that slider you were talking about, and he missed. In the air, oh, into the basket for Manny.
Max Scherzer has been victim all year. That's his seventh.
Well, one thing the Padres have been able to do in each of these games against the Mets, get out in their first strike, even in the count of 1-1. Xander Bogaerts. That is strike three. Bogaerts goes looking. The first last 9. Taking matters into his own hands. The Cichado.
Yeah, Donnie 3 in his last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And that's ball 4. So he draws a 2-out base on ball. Game after the night game, and Sanchez getting so much work since he joined the club. He's only missed one game. Outing you were talking about, 6 innings. It was an 8-5 win over the Diamondbacks, but Brewers. There's a drive to left. Back goes Canna to make the catch. Joe Musgrove's got a 3-run lead with which to work. As Pete Alonso 2 at 153. And a lot of strikeouts, 23 Ks in 9. Kim is out with the sunglasses on, makes the 2.25 ERA. And Joe is coming off arguably strike in there to Jeff McNeil.
Oh, you jinxed him.
Yep, there you go. This is just amazing.
It's amazing.
You know, he hasn't given. And a line to right field. The first hit of the day for us. Here's DJ Stewart. First appearance of the series. DH for the Mets. There's that one in there for a strike, and it evens at 1-1. Ball 2 stretch for the first time today, and that one misses inside. 3-1 pitch, as they said. Fernando in the Mets' second inning. Second, Stewart at first. The 0-1 is on. Bogaerts to second for 1. On to first. That's 2.
The same booth that Donnie works in the other stadiums when he's working the national scene. They let us
want our guys to make it, right?
Sure.
But Blake Snell has deserved it. And when you pass the month of June, and I think the aspect of, yes, it's great. He's after a slow start, and he has earned it. There's a lot of guys offensively that get off to a hot start, left-handers that should be showcased on the All-Star game.
And if you look at it across, baseball, it's known that he's pitching well and is deserving of this honor. We'll see what happens. Striking out is Rug. So the pitchers are selected, Mike, as to how they do it now.
as selected by the commissioner's office. As we know, the starters are voted in by the fans, and then the players weigh in, you guys pointed out, and then the commissioner is going to have to give the nod in that spot. That could be tough. We looked at the slate of